Okay then, guess it's my turn.
Yo, welcome back guys to another Dragon Ball Legends episode, Artificial Year in the house, and today we are going to go through a Tournament of Power guide. I've had numerous comments on Instagram about how this works. As you see on the screen, I sent you guys this post on YouTube as well as Instagram on the root system that you can use to ensure that you get the most out of the Tournament of Power. Now, with that root system, there is a few things that we need to discuss that is probably not clear if you are new to the Tournament of Power, or if you just do this on auto and let the root depict itself. But now this is actually going to make you better at the Tournament of Power. It's going to make you understand every single level and how it works. I will admit that it is a bit grindy at first, but once you have a compatible team, a compatible route, which is either the green route or the yellow route, you will be able to constantly sit between 95 million and above. And that's a good thing, because once you are over the score of 95 million, you are guaranteed, at least 95% guaranteed, to get the 1000cc, depending on what the final rankings are. Since most people finish their Tournament of Power this weekend, which is after a week or a week and a half, you'll notice that the scores would most likely be finalized by then. So yeah, if you check the scores, people in the top 5% would be between 110 million up to 177 million. If you are between 84 million to 110 million at the moment, you are still going to get the 1000cc. So yeah guys, the route system that I made is to ensure that you get the 1000cc no matter which route you take, because your score will always be above the threshold of what the game is giving you. So that's exactly what I wanted to say. Now in this video, we're going to go through the reason for the route, and we're going to go through the team that I use, as well as teams you can choose depending on your friendship level, as well as stars. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into that. Alright, so the first section is teams, guys. Now with teams, you need to choose a team that you will be using for this consistently every single season. In that case, you don't have to keep changing teams. You'll have one really good team that will push through the Tournament of Power and will always give you the CC no matter where they are. Because when you're playing the Tournament of Power, we get boost characters as well, and the boost characters are basically determined by tiers. So tier Z will give you the most points in the Tournament of Power, but most of these units are extremely less defensive, so they're very squishy. They'll die very quickly. Then you get S tier, which is a bit better units, but they also die quickly, but the bonus is quite high. So you'll see A will be the better unit and B will be even higher. C tier doesn't really give you much, but some of these units will actually help you in the Tournament of Power. For example, I'm using Beast Gohan. He doesn't get a boost. I don't get any boost to my points, but I still managed to get the 98 million score, which tells you that you don't really have to use the boost characters to ensure that you get a good score. Now, when it comes to team composition, you need to choose a team that basically buffs each other. In this case, I got a hybrid setup, Beast Gohan being the main guy, Pan is supporting him, this Pan here is Zenkaiing him, this Saiyaman is Zenkaiing Pan, MUI Goku is basically the head of the Tournament of Power, and if you check his stats out, he gets extra attack, extra damage when the battle starts. He can also evade, and also Universal Saga and Saiyans get a certain percentage of damage. So that's what I use. Then we also got the backup characters as well, which I will get into in a moment. Now, when you have a team finally sorted out, your team can be anything. Like I said, you don't have to follow the tiers. You can have a regen team, an android team, a hybrid team, a fusions team, a god key team, and the list just goes on. You can even mix and match teams and you'll still be fine, as long as you have two things. One would be the star level. You have to be above 7 stars to ensure that you're getting Zenkai buffs and to ensure that your team can tank. Because some stages in the Tournament of Power can make you lose health very quickly. As you can see with this Gohan, he's losing health very quickly. So he's something I need to work on for the next Tournament of Power. Then, after that, you need to work on friendship. Now, friendship is very, very important in this game, because friendship in Tournament of Power actually increases your stats. So yeah, right now, you're looking at the Tournament of Power stats, which is different from the normal stats. And the main thing we're looking at is key restore speed. Why? Now, key restore speed will ensure that you get your key back really quickly, so that you can constantly continue your combos, as well as ensure that your supers go through, because sometimes if you don't have key, you can't do a super. Now, once you get your unit to friendship rank 10, you'll see that everything increases. He's doing more strikes, he's doing more defenses, he's getting more key restore speed, which means he can do more attacks, and that's what you want to see. Obviously, if you go to 11, it's different for every character in the game, depending on who you use. So the main thing from characters that you need to take from this is you need a team that synergizes very well, which means they buff each other. You need a team that is friendship level 10 at least. If you don't have those units at friendship level 10, you might as well start doing the Tournament of Power, even if you don't get the 1000 CC, as long as you are able to see what that team can do. So you need to do a trial and error method to see if this team actually works for you or not. Then if you don't have time to check teams, what you can do is you can just copy a team from the leaderboards. But that's a bit more tricky, because if you copy the wrong team, or if you copy a team that you think will do good and they don't, then you might be disappointed. So it's best to actually follow what you think is good. And this goes for all leagues. You don't have to do this only in Z League. If you're in S League, you can follow the same thing, as well as A, as well as B. Now, this guy's using this team here, which is actually a good team. It is Android after all, so he's getting a lot of buffs from this team. And you'll see he's getting 29% to attack Android Blast, 33% to Sagas from the movies, as they are Saga from the movie units. So yeah, you just need to energize or synergize your team, my apologies, and you'll get something really good out of this. So yeah, that's step one, guys. Get a really good team that you're comfortable with as a new player. Test it out first to see if this team is viable for you. Are they able to defend really well? Because when you do the Tournament of Power following my guide, we do not touch the health at all. We do not heal. Because if you heal, you are wasting a section and you won't get the highest considerable amount of points. Because we are always going towards a point margin of 90 million and above. Anything below 90 million will not give us the 1000 CC. Obviously, if you are in Group S or in Group B or in Group A, you might get less CC, so it will be a bit more easier to maintain it. But if you're in Group Z, you need to have 90 million minimum, no matter what. Otherwise, you might not get the 1000 CC. So that's what I meant by making sure that your team is viable enough to survive. Because Tournament of Power is all about survivability. If you cannot survive, you will not get far. So we got Pan Zenkaiing me, yeah? We got another Zenkai, we got a lot of Z abilities, and we also have a lot of a strategy. Now the next portion of this video will be about strategy and how to ensure that your units don't die. So let's get into that. Alright guys, so in order to increase your defense in the game, what you need to do is you need to use your rare medals that we have over here. And rare medals you can get through PvP, PvP, the Gauntlet, as well as Treasure Battle. So yeah, once you go here, you go to the Tournament of Power section and you basically get every single equipment that you see over here. And then you lock them because you want to use this equipment solely for the Tournament of Power. So you get your team, you finally have one, you put these equipment on, and those equipment will be always worn by that specific team, because you don't want to do this again. As you noticed, all this equipment are basically detailed by defense. So we're getting strike defense, we're getting blast defense and strike attack, which is good because we need more defense, as we are going to face a lot of very strong units. We got defense, so you guys get the point. Every one will be a bit more different. Some gives health, some gives attack only, some gives only health. So yeah, you have to be careful. But the best option here is just to basically buy everything at least 10 times. Once you've bought it, all you need to do is to upgrade it by the equipment upgrade section. And once that's done, you equip it on your units. So now, let's go back to our units to see how those equipment look when you equip them. Alright, so now if you go to the equipment on any unit, let's say we're going to Beast Gohan, for example, and I hover on this equipment, you'll see that I'm getting defenses and attack. Now what you want to do is you need to make sure that every unit has at least 2 equipment, because it's not necessary to upgrade them higher than A, especially for the Tournament of Power, because they do give you a buff, but it's not the biggest of buffs. So now let's say I want to see the equipment here. I'll click on this, but I don't think in this case it's going to work. Let me just reset this. Okay, I think it's because I'm done already. Okay, so yeah, I'm done with this mode at the moment, so I'm not able to do it right now. But basically, you get the point. You click on the equipment, you hover on it to see what it gives you. As long as it's health, defense, you're good. Some of them will give you strike, but that's okay as well. So all you need to look for is health. Health, defense, and 1 or 2 strike attacks won't really kill you. So that's what you need. Then you need to make sure your backup unit is able to tank. Now, my backup units are able to tank. That's why their health is so low, because they were tanking. So you can use any backup unit as long as you know that this unit will survive as long as possible. So that's exactly what you want to do. For most of the equipment, guys, I think I don't have to explain that further. You just go to the equipment section by characters, and once that's done, you should be able to upgrade it, and you just put them on. That's all I wanted to say. Then once we're done with equipment, you need to now figure out how you're going to survive this route, depending on which one you choose. I would suggest everyone to try the green route first, because it works better, it's easier. You'll do more 3-star difficulty instead of the 5 stars, which would give you an easier way, and your points will still be a good 90 million and above if you just follow this route. Obviously, if you die, then you lose those points, you lose the bonus. Because the Tournament of Power works on a bonus, you need to make sure that you don't lose it at any point. So that's why it's important to ensure that your team survives. So you'll notice now here, if we follow the route that I chose, and you can see that route on Instagram as well as YouTube, and it's also currently on the screen. So this is the team that I had to face. First one, right? And if you lose, you get a penalty, which means you lose your points, obviously. But if you start, that does not work. Now I want everyone to look at this section here. It says upgrade special move. That is the orange one in the middle. Then we got blast damage up in the top left, and we got sustained damage cut right at the bottom. Now, sustained damage cut speaks for itself. It's basically stopping you from taking large amounts of damage. So your units that's low on health can actually still survive. So you can put the most squishy units there. Like, for example, in my team, I would put MUI Goku there because I know that he is very, very squishy. Then the middle section is your main section, because that's for your best damage dealer. Upgrade special move, meaning their special move is going to hit much harder. Now, currently, I can't show you how this looks because I finished it, but normally there's a button here that says switch. If you click on that button, all these icons appear and tells you how much each one gives you. So for example, we now know that the top left is blast, so I'll put my blast character there. If you're using Androids, that's the easiest decision because they are blast orientated. In the middle, I'll put Beast Gohan. On the end, I'll put MUI Goku, and I'll put that extreme Gohan because I know they can't really tank. Now, if I wanted to do that right now, then I would do this. We know this was in the middle for special moves, so that's where I'll put Beast Gohan. I know that he's very, very squishy, so I'll put him at the end. And I know my best blast-orientated unit here might be them. But then you might be saying, the Saiyaman are not blast-orientated units. They're actually strike-orientated. Well, this is where this comes in. So you can go here and click on this icon. And I'm not sure if anyone knows this, but you can choose your attack strategy. If your unit is strike orientated, like you know, but there's a option for you to change it to blast because that section is going to increase the blast damage, then change it to blast. And your unit will officially be able to do blast attacks. And that will help him do more damage, guys. Now that I have a route, whatever units are left out, because remember, the special actions were here, here and there. Anything else is basically just blank spaces, so you can put those units anywhere, it does not matter. Then you confirm and you basically choose the team that you want to face. Now when it comes to team consideration, there's only a few units you need to know about, and I will have it up on the screen. But if it's Freezer Force like this, you can choose anyone here. It won't make a difference at all, because Freezer Force does not make a difference. So if we go through my battle log, guys, for this, you can basically see the teams that I had to face. So this is the team I had to face in the second one, and you can also check the details. It tells you like what they do and how they fight. So you'll notice that he has Extreme 13, you got Goku, and Gohan. Now in this case, most people will start with MUI Goku, but I would suggest taking out the Extremes. Because this is a different mode, they tend to make the Extremes do much more. Like some Extremes can seal your hand, some Extremes can make you faint. Some Extremes can paralyze you or skip your turn or increase their special moves. So taking them out first would be the best option. Obviously, if you face teams with Ultras, then take out the Ultras first as well. You need to be very careful of who you fight, because if you take out the wrong unit, it can cause you to take more damage. But don't worry too much about that. As long as you follow the path, and as long as you have the right equipment and the right friendship level, you will be able to tank no matter who they put in front of you, and that goes for all leagues, guys. I've tested this for the last 3 Tournament of Powers, and every single time I have received 1000 CC plus the 300 for completing it plus the extra 100, so it does work. And once you are settled on a team, you'll notice that the team will win no matter what, unless they change the mode, of course. So that's the section I wanted to talk about in terms of how it works. Now the route itself, guys. Let's explain how the point system works. Alright guys, this is the last section of this video. So what you can do is you can look at the pathways that I showed you earlier on YouTube as well as IG. And from now onwards, if you guys want to see the routes, just hop onto IG, follow us there, and you'll be able to see the route or the roadmap within a week at least. So I normally wait until I have about 20 TP before I start doing the route, or just wait until I have 25 and do them all at once. Now with the route, I only have green and yellow. There is also a red route, but red is extremely difficult and I would not recommend that at all unless you're going for the top 100 in the world, which is insane, especially for this mode. So since this is a chilled specific section, I would suggest everyone do the green. If you're feeling that the green's working really well and you get to a point whereby you can actually divert into yellow because your units are still at good health, then yeah, sure, you can do that. That will still help you and also give you a bigger score as well. But like I reiterated earlier, no matter what route you take, your score will be above 90 million easily, and then you should still get those CC. The only thing that's stopping you currently would be your teams and your friendship levels, as well as equipment, which you obviously know now where to get them from. Now if we go to the route, why did I start with a 4 instead of a 5? Well, it's very easy. The units at this specific section, where the 4-star is, the middle one, were weaker than the units at the 5-star. And since it is the first one, the bonus that we're getting is basically 0. So since this mode is not giving us a bonus for completing the first one here, even if I chose this one here on the far right, the 5-star difficulty one, I would not get a bonus out of it. My points would still be small. It would be very similar to the 4-star, like maybe by 10,000 more. So it's not really a big difference. And since this was so easy, I might as well just get a bonus from it. So I did that. Then I chose my first 5-star. Why did I choose the 5-star after that? Very easy, because the units on this one were easy to beat as well. And at the same time, I had full health still. So I could do it. Then there's 2 parts here. You can either go yellow if you're confident with your units, or you can go green if you're still testing them out and you want to be safe. So if we go to go green, you choose another 4, another 3, another 3, meaning that the units are basically weak, and our bonus would still be going up. 3, 3, 4. Then you'll see there's a circle. Why is there a circle? Well, you need to count. So if we count everything that we just did before the circle, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did 10 matches before the circle, meaning that our bonus just went up. So the higher the bonus, the better for you. So the higher bonus means you need to choose a stage that is very difficult so you can get the most out of it. So this is the 10th battle. We get the most points from that one. Then 11, another 5-star. Then a 4-star, and then another 5-star. So you'll notice that with the green section, you are doing 5-stars as well, but most of them consist of 3s and 4-stars. And when you do a 5-star, it's very close to the bonus stage. So that's what I want you to take away from it. Now with the yellow section, if you have a team that you are confident with, that you've been using for a while and can tank, you'll notice that it's a 4, a 5, a 5, a 5. Most of the battles are just basically 4 difficulty to 5 difficulty every single time, meaning that your score will definitely be over 100 million easily. Obviously, you need to be careful, because every single time you do this, you need to check the placement of your units to make sure that your unit is in the right spot for special move damage, your unit is in the right spot for blast damage, as well as sustained damage. So yeah guys, let me show you again what I mean by that, and then we can close off. Alright, let me just reiterate everything we said, and then yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this, and I hope it does work. So choose green route if you're less confident and you're still working on a team, or just choose green route if you just want to chill and still get a good score high enough to get the CC. Choose the yellow route if you want to have a bit more of a challenge and get even a higher score to compete with top ranks. Basically, that's it for any league in this game. Every single time you click on a stage that you need to do, you need to check the stage out. So basically you need to see what the layout bonus is. Where is this upgrade special move section? Where do you put that unit? What is on the left? It says inflict damage up at the end, key recovery as well. So you need to know where to put your units. That's what you need to do on every stage, meaning you cannot auto this. You have to physically click on a stage, see what the layout is, who needs to heal, who's low on health, heal that unit, where is the special move damage, who's your best damage dealer, put that unit there. Blast damage is above, put your best blast damage dealer there. If you don't have a blast damage, change the unit to a blast damage like I showed you, and I'll show you once more. So you click on the unit, you click on this little icon, and then you choose to make that unit a blast unit so you can do more damage if that section is there. If the special move damage section is here, you put your unit there. So you need to check the layout bonus every time you do this. And once you get used to it, it becomes very easy. Then you need to learn about the point score and how it works. So you need to check the bonus every time you finish a stage to see what your current score is. You also need to check who's low on health. Every time you have a unit that is very low on health and the layout bonus is not giving you health, then obviously you'll bring up one of your backup units and take that unit that's low on health out and put them on the side. So now you know that you can bring them back later on when you land on a stage that gives you health. Like for example, this last stage here, or the stage before, I think, gave health. As you can see, health restoration. So if I wanted to, I could have put my backup unit that was low on health, which is the extreme Gohan, in one slot here or at the slot over there. And either way, I would have been able to heal. But at this point, I did not need it because I was still pretty much done. So yeah, guys, that is the Tournament of Power in a nutshell. If there is anything I missed, I do apologize, and I will leave a comment if I can think about it. But we don't use the healing pods, and we don't change teams at all. So you need to be very, very considerate about what team you want. I am not an expert about team composition. It takes a long time to figure out what teams work. So if I were you, choose a team that synergizes well. You can go with hybrids, you can go with Lineage of Evil, you can go with girls, you can go with God Key, fusions. Regen is probably one of the best because they heal constantly. And if you guys want more information on characters, there is a lot of guides out there. You can check a few YouTubers. I'll leave their links in the description, and they'll show you guides for characters that you can use. But I would suggest using the characters you feel most comfortable with, that gives you good buffs, and add them to your teams to get the most out of the Tournament of Power. But yeah, like always, thank you guys so much for watching to the end. And yeah, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also follow us on Instagram. We are currently at 600 followers, almost at 1,000. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Goodbye.